Quick writing tip, watch out for indirect repetition. Direct repetition is repeating the same thing with the same words. Indirect repetition is saying the same thing in different words. She was beautiful, gorgeous, I couldn't take my eyes off her. Everybody in the place turns to look as she walked by. So all of those things say the exact same thing. She was beautiful. Indirect repetition is really hard to catch because it seems okay. But we're not just here for okay. Let's look at an example on paper. The food was disgusting. It was the worst thing I'd ever tasted. It tasted like garbage and sweat. So every detail here basically means the same thing. The food was disgusting. So there are a couple options here. The first is cutting all but one detail. So in this case, you would choose the most specific and interesting detail. Less is more. Now you're done. But there's another way you can do this. So in this example, we are taking our time and adding non-repetitive details. So it is still telling us that the food is gross, but it's not just repeating the food was gross, it was gross, it was gross. It's getting into the specifics of how it was gross. It tasted like garbage and sweat. The texture was a velvet and dish sponge. It was the color of rotten pistachios, and it was somehow both cold and hot at the same time. You might notice that we are touching on more of the five senses, and that is a key. But you can go even further, my friends, because you can get even more specific and talk about which part of the food, which is quite vague, has each of these attributes. And if you watched my last video, you'll know that we can also make this even more interesting. I won't go there because we're focused on descriptions, but you could change out the verbs. Instead of the sauce just being there with was, you could talk about how the sauce is like drizzling over the steak in weak ribbons or something. This is how you can take something that is indirectly repetitive and either shorten it down to one thing, less is more, or explore it a little more interestingly and make it a little better, a little less repetitive, and just overall a little stronger. This is a tool for your writing toolbox. It cannot be used in every situation. It should not be used in every situation. It can be overused. No writing rule is universal. But if you find yourself writing and writing and writing and not seeming to get anywhere, or if you're bored while reading your book and you're not really sure why, this could be the solution. Good luck and happy writing!